To the guy who asked after the Color Museum, well, maybe if you included more white people in the little black theater you do have on campus, white people could get a better understanding of what it means to be black. And to the girl who said, you people just aren't accessible, you always look angry. And to the journalist who told me, well, Bronte, don't you think if black people would just stop being lazy and get off their ass? And to one of my best friends who likes to throw around nigga, nigga, nigga when he's drunk. And to the guy who told me in Usedan, you're in Posse and from Atlanta, but you talk so pretty. And to the Jewish person who responded to my commentary on Django when I quoted Spike Lee, who said, I will not see the movie because what happened to my people was a Holocaust. I disagree wholeheartedly with your comparison of enslavement of Africans to the Holocaust. Your people were not murdered without reason, and although one can construe that slave trade is an allegorical similarity to the Holocaust for the African people, it's simply not. Holocaust is a proper noun for genocide, which slave trade was not. What's happening in Darfur is, and what happened and is happening to the Native American populations is far worse than slavery. The women raped and murdered, the children shot, the men hunted and robbed of their land, and look where they are now. And look where we are now, comparatively victimizing the other because mental enslavement just isn't the same as seeing chains erode the black off of our skin. I thought that when I got to Brandeis, I would denounce even more of my identity. Wash off my reflection being a riddle, scrub the ghetto off my tongue, clean off the feeling of being a footnote, an afterthought, something left in the margins. I didn't want to remember that I was small, inferior, brown, thought I would want to sprout wings, strap halos across my shoulders, ascend to the heavens, embodying all things white and holy. I didn't know when I got here I would be faced with so many mirrors. People reminding me of why I need to stand in my skin. People telling me I can go ahead and fly, although since leaving my mother's womb, my wings have been tied in knots. They say that birds born in cages think flying is impossible. I have seen it most in blackbirds. Backs arch like their skin is still waiting to be whipped. Head and sky become the most attracted of all magnets. Hand in hand facing upwards like arrows, like I have to shoot a prayer up somewhere because when you play with pain daily, faith is all your hands know how to hold on to. Everything else is just sand, just dust in the wind, just ocean. How our history was dissolved to unseen reparations and fabricated emancipations. How when I tell a girl here, black people are still facing the ramifications of slavery, she thinks I am joking, her teeth as sharp as the tips of KKK hoods. They laugh like jackals and look like jackasses. People here think the more recent their pain, the more validated the cause, but the luxury of forgetting is afforded to those who have seen compensation. We were promised 40 acres and a sterile animal, as if that could compensate for 400 years of sin, scarred as absent as the blank memory of our ancestors. We have no history to return to. We were beaten into dependence. Do you think welfare is any different? How can I handle something in a civil manner when my people fought for a war that wanted to keep them as capital? They say that the caged bird sings, but I hear it cry and often scream because they whipped our throats into knowing how to exclaim. Would you be able to whisper while the skin on your back unraveled? I wish they would peel back our brains and see how our mindsets are still being lynched. The faint leftovers of rope and friction still noosing our thoughts with pants sagging. We still know how to sway like strange fruit. Poplar trees are now our school systems, and auction blocks are just called sports drafting. Black president should affirm a post-racial society, but no glass ceiling has been broken. If anything, it is only a little less opaque. What I've been trying to tell you, what we have all been trying to tell you, is that just because someone opens the cage doesn't mean the birds will suddenly know how to fly out.